Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Ngọc Duy and here's what's happening across the world today.
Vietnam hopes for United Nations' continued assistance in green transition. Vietnamese, Ethiopian prime ministers enjoy breakfast, visit Tran Quoc Pagoda. Party chief delivers keynote policy address at P4G summit. Prime Minister puts forth initiatives for sustainable and people-centered green transition. State President calls for greater efforts to multiply good deeds.
Receiving UN Deputy Secretary-General Amina J. Mohammed, who is in Vietnam to attend the 4th Partnering for Green Growth and the Global Goals 2030 Summit in Hanoi on April 17. State President Luong Cuong emphasized that this is the first multilateral summit on green growth, green transition and sustainable development hosted by Vietnam. The state leader proposed the United Nations to continue supporting Vietnam in several priority areas, including realizing the Sustainable Development Goals, building a rule-of-law state, digital transformation, green transition, addressing climate change and tackling global challenges. While asserting that the Vietnam-UN partnership has developed positively and extensively over nearly 5 decades, Amina Mohammed said the UN appreciates Vietnam's role and contributions to its activities and is eager to share Vietnam's successful development experiences with its partners. The two sides discussed the direction of Vietnam-UN relations in the coming period, with focus on green growth, sustainable development, innovation, digital transformation as well as enhancing the participation of youth and women in these processes.
On April 17 morning, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and his wife invited his Ethiopian counterpart Abiy Ahmed Ali and his spouse to enjoy typical dishes of Hanoi and Vietnam, while also introducing them to Vietnam's culinary culture. The Ethiopian Prime Minister and his spouse, who are on an official visit to Vietnam, were given an introduction of Tran Quoc, a nearly 1,500-year-old pagoda, considered the oldest in Hanoi and also the center of Buddhism in the capital during the Lai and Tran dynasties. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali thanked the party and state leaders and people of Vietnam for their warm reception for the delegation. He expressed his wish to welcome his hosts, as well as leaders of the Vietnamese party, state, and government, to Ethiopia in the coming time. During this first visit to Vietnam by a high-ranking Ethiopian leader since the two countries established diplomatic relations in 1976, which is also the first high-level delegation exchange in 7 years, Abiy Ahmed Ali held talks and meetings with the top leaders of Vietnam's party, state, government, and National Assembly. He also participated in activities within the framework of the 4th Partnering for Green Growth and the Global Goals 2030 Summit.
Party General Secretary To Lâm delivered a keynote policy address at the 4th Partnership for Green Growth and the Global Goals 2030 (P4G) Summit that opened in Hanoi on April 16. The event, the first multilateral high-level meeting on green growth ever hosted by Vietnam, attracted over 1,000 delegates from more than 40 countries and international organizations. In his speech, Party Chief Lam underlined Vietnam's commitment to a socialist society, with a wealthy population, a strong nation, democracy, equity, civilization, and happiness. He stressed that rapid growth must align with sustainability, balancing economic progress with cultural preservation, social equity, environmental protection, and climate adaptation. He identified sci-techy, innovation, and digital transformation as critical drivers of progress. Describing data as the air and light of the new era, he underscored its role as a vital resource and production tool. The party chief said, Vietnam has essentially established the necessary frameworks and mechanisms to support green growth, including national and energy master plans, and sectoral development strategies. The leader expressed confidence that the summit will generate fresh momentum to boost cooperation between P4G and its partners, foster collaboration between the Global North and Global South and between the public and private sectors, in advancing green transition and green finance.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh chaired a high-level plenary discussion on sustainable and people-centered green transition within the framework of the Fourth Partnership for Green Growth and the Global Goals 2030 (P4G) summit in Hanoi on April 16 afternoon. In his opening speech, Prime Minister Chinh said that for sustainable and people-centered green transition, the discussion would be an opportunity for countries to exchange and build an action program based on three aspects: building inclusive, fair green institutions, taking the market as the center to regulate and allocate resources as the foundation, building green economic capacity, and building a green international cooperation framework and multi-sectoral, multi-subject linkages. Prime Minister Chinh made a number of specific proposals to promote the sustainable and inclusive green transition process. As a platform to promote public-private partnership, connecting governments, businesses and socio-political organizations, P4G needs to continue to provide financial and technical support in the field of climate change prevention, developing solutions to minimize impacts and respond to climate change. Speaking in a pre-recorded video sent to the discussion, French President Emmanuel Macron highly appreciated the activities of P4G as well as Vietnam's proactive engagement in sustainable development issues. He thanked Vietnam for its close coordination in implementing the Just Energy Transition Partnership and the Paris Pact for People and the Planet. Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof shared the similarities in geographical characteristics and appreciated the long-standing cooperative relationship between Vietnam and the Netherlands, including in the green sector. He affirmed that determination, long-term vision, and public-private partnership are the keys to promoting both economic growth and sustainable development. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh highly appreciated the delegates' thoughtful and profound sharing, ideas, and proposals. He thanked leaders of countries for sending high-level delegations to attend the summit, showing their support and contribution to the common development of the earth and demonstrating their affection for Vietnam and for the green transition process of a country emerging from war.
State President Luong Cuong has emphasized the need to further promote and multiply models of sharing with and helping others, and to recognize more individuals and collectives dedicated to serving the community. Speaking at a cordial gathering with 100 outstanding role models, featured in the Vietnam television program Vic Tu Che, Acts of Kindness, on April 16, President Cuong said, "The society needs more hearts, more compassion, like the 100 exemplary individuals honored to generate positive energy and spread love across the community." The state leader expressed his delight at meeting with the exemplary individuals, whose kindness, generosity, and warm hearts have made life more meaningful and worth living. Since its launching in 2014, the program has spotlighted more than 2,500 stories of individuals who have quietly done good deeds. Thousands of simple, heartfelt stories have been conveyed to audiences in a vivid and authentic manner, highlighting the beauty of altruism and kindness. Beyond the stories themselves, the program has for over a decade fostered the spirit of compassion and belief in humanity among millions of Vietnamese citizens. The president believed that the widespread recognition of role models and good deeds will motivate communities to act, contributing to the building of a prosperous, civilized, and happy Vietnam.